Sunday afternoon, Facebook and YouTube. How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy, and it is that time. All the fuss and all the other stuff, we can put it down. We can leave that in the background because it is Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl 60 is going down in Santa Clara, California. We got those Seahawks and those Patriots about to get down here in about 4.5 hours. Again, I am Kendrick, the sports guy. I hope you are having a great Sunday, great weekend. You know the drill. When you come in, make sure you come in, like, comment. Let me know where you're watching from. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channels. Those channels are Kendrick Sports Hustle. That's SportzHustle, as well as TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Make sure you like and follow them both on Facebook. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Kendrick1969, as well as on TikTok, Kendrick Henderson 51. It goes down on TikTok, but we're not live right now on TikTok. We're just live on Facebook and YouTube. Again, we're talking Super Bowl 60. Again, it's about to go down in Santa Clara, California, and I got you some live coverage. I got my good brother who's been to quite a few of these Super Bowls, must I say, in his long, illustrious career. Without further ado, I'm bringing him to the stage. My good brother, KLTV Sports Director Michael Coleman at the ABC affiliate in Tyler, Texas, is in Santa Clara, California. Michael, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, K Hen? You still rolling, man. I'm proud of you and what you got going on. Y'all need to subscribe to this brother. He real. So check him out. Check him
I,
out.
man, I appreciate your support. You one of my guys that I look up to in this business. So, I got to give you your flowers while I got you right here. People like to say stuff about you when you ain't around or when you done passed
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
But give these people their flowers while they live, man. So I definitely want to shout out you because you are one of the guys that I look up to in this
Thank
industry.
you,
So
brother.
here
I
we go,
appreciate that.
Mike. Without further ado, we ain't gonna kick around, man. You out there in Santa Clara. You been there for a week, pretty much. You
Well,
gotta let us
let me
know.
tell you.
Go ahead.
Well, actually, I'm in San Francisco.
Oh, you in San
Santa
Francisco? Okay, my
Santa
bad.
Clara is like an hour. Santa Clara is like an hour 15 from here. And
Okay.
now I know. Now I know why. Even the folks who are from here,
Mm,
been to Uber. This is a hard town to get. I love the city. It's a great
mm,
city, but it's
mm-hmm.
hard to get around, man. It's like on Monday they took the media, about 300 of us, or at least 4 or 5 buses full to
Mm-hmm.
San Jose at the convention center. That's
Okay.
like a that's like an hour and 25 minutes. So with that song, do you know the way to San Jose? Now I know why they sing that song. Because it
Yeah.
takes so long to get there, you might have thought you passed it.
Wow. So I'm glad you corrected me. You're in San Francisco right
I'm in
now.
San Francisco. And so the media center is in San Francisco. And we're
Okay.
downtown San Francisco, the Moscone Center. I think he used to be the mayor or something. I'm not sure what his connection is, why they named the place after him. But it's a convention center named after him. And there are 3 places we've been to, other than San Francisco, which is the hub.
Yeah.
There's Santa Clara, 4 places. Yeah, Santa Clara and San Jose. So people from San Francisco, they don't like that this is in Santa Clara. It's kind of like Irving.
Oh,
Remember, Irving was the Cowboys'
right.
home. Now it's Arlington, but
Right.
it's not Dallas.
Right.
It's
Right.
it's the
Right.
same situation. But the
Okay.
difference here is they say, yeah, they show TV shots of the Bay Bridge and the Fisherman's Wharf. That's not Santa Clara. That's San Francisco. So
Oh, I
so
see.
they say the Bay Area is how they
Okay.
word it for the Super Bowl.
Gotcha.
The Bay Area. Now they said when Candlestick was around, it was on because
Mm-hmm.
it's in San Francisco.
Right. Right.
So
So so
this is what
so so Levi Stadium is in Santa Clara, which is an hour or so from San
e-
Francisco.
exactly. And how about this?
Okay.
San Jose is in Santa Clara County, which I just found out yesterday.
Well, damn,
So
that's
I
confusing as hell.
mean, right. So yeah. So there's the Bay Area, San Francisco being the hub, Santa Clara, San Jose. So I
Mm-hmm.
think what they were trying to do, and like if I'm Oakland, I'm like, wait a minute, you ain't got no love for Oakland? We right here, you
Right.
know. And
Right.
so yeah, I got a geographical lessons this week. Like, oh, so and it's hard to get around this town, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Uber. I see why Uber was invented out here. It really is hard to get around.
Yeah.
But
So
people are on
let's
motorized bicycles, motorized scooters. They got all modes of transportation out here, man.
how's the media? I mean, so basically the media is in a shuttle. Is that what you're saying? Y'all basically
Shuttle.
being shuttled.
If
Okay.
when we I only been to practice once, because
Okay.
it's been back and forth. Like Monday night was opening night.
Mm-hmm.
That began at 5 o'clock to 6 for the Patriots portion, and
Mm-hmm.
then from 6 to 7 the Seahawks portion. But those things never run on time.
Right.
They lag another extra 30 minutes or so. But so it took probably about 5 hours at the San Jose total convention center there in terms of the round trip. By the time we got back to the hotel room, man, it's about 12:30, and y'all sleep already back at home.
Right.
you know. And so, but the Moscone Center is like 1.1 mile from here. I've been walking most of the time, just because it's more convenient. But I've taken an Uber a few times. And in fact, kudos to a police officer. I was coming back to the hotel room with my gear at night on a Tuesday, and I would walk through some rough fellas. I would say. I mean, this is the homeless situation. You see people laying on the sleep and on the street and sidewalks, whatever, and I come across some cats that okay, they might be troublesome, but they never bothered me or anything.
Right.
Um, but a police officer saw me with my gear, and he spoke to me and he said, "Where you headed?" And I told him where I was headed, 415 Old Farrell. That's where I'm staying. He
Mm-hmm.
said, "Get in the car."
Oh wow.
And he said, let me take you. I'll take you there. I'll take you to your hotel.
Mm.
And he said, "Yeah, you don't want to be walking around this. This is downtown. This
Yeah.
is downtown. You do not want to be walking around this time of the night with the gear that you have." He says, "Don't
Mm-hmm.
you have security? Does media have security?" I said, "No, we only have security at the Moscone Center, but once we're out of that building, we're on our own." He's kind of shook his head, and most take Uber, but I was like, it's 1.1 mile, I can walk. And
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, I said, well, a buddy of mine I grew up with, he lives out this way. And when I told him where I was staying, he said, "Oh, you in the hood portion of the city." And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Well," and he said he's right, but it's like for 3 blocks. Then that fourth block on it, everything is good. So,
Okay.
but no, I gotta say the police officers here, I know cops get a bad rap and some of them deserve it, but the police have been so cool, man. Even
Mm.
just nice guys. And even when I didn't have a badge around me that said Super Bowl, hey, how you doing? Are you from here? No. So how's our city treating you? So, "Oh, not bad." So okay. So I mean, they've engaged in conversations. Just being
Right.
friendly people, man, and I appreciate that.
Shout out to my fam, Kennard Vernon Stewart, who's watching, gave us a heart. He's loving the broadcast. Appreciate that, fam. And we're gonna continue. All right, Mike. Let's that's definitely been an interesting take on the whole Bay, San Francisco, Santa Clara
Yeah.
connection. That enlightened me.
Oh,
I didn't
let
I
me do
didn't
one more
really
thing.
feel that.
Let me do one more
Yeah.
thing for you. Let me do one more thing for you. And I didn't know this till like 3 or 4 days later after I've been here. I was waiting outside for my Uber. I'm just looking around my surroundings, and I see a sign, and it says transgender district. So,
Mm,
oh, they got their own district.
mm,
So
mm.
that's just how it is.
That's
you
how it
know,
is. I'm not
that's the way
surprised
it is,
that you
man.
see that. I
Yeah,
mean, that San
yeah,
Francisco area, I'm not surprised,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I'm sure they would have pitched the fit if there was no such marking or landmark
It probably
to
would. Yeah,
dignify them.
yeah.
So you know how that
And
is.
I
That's
wasn't violated, and I wasn't
right,
offended. Just like, do
right.
your thing.
That's what it is. What it is. It's the world we live in, especially in this
Yeah,
country. Anyway,
yeah.
all right,
It
Mike.
is.
Were you able to talk to Media Row? You get to see a lot of legends, a lot of
Yeah,
former
yeah.
stars, Super Bowl heroes, whatever. Who were you able to catch up with during Media Row?
My most impressive get was Everson Walls.
Okay.
It was really cool talking to him. And for those of you, if you're back at home, you don't know who Everson Walls is. But he was here to promote diabetic awareness,
Hmm.
diabetes awareness.
Right.
We all know the story about the Ron Springs,
Right.
the kidney and all that. And
Some people don't know, but we know.
okay,
Some people don't
all
know.
right,
No.
yeah. Ron Springs needed a kidney. Ron Springs was a running back from Ohio State. Before that, he was at Coffeyville, but he wound up with the Dallas Cowboys. and he and post NFL career, he needed a kidney. And he and Everson Walls were very close teammates. They were really good friends. And Everson
Right.
Walls gave him his kidney. The only the only surgery of its type for any professional athlete. Period.
Mm-hmm.
One kidney going to the other. And of course, Ron Springs, he passed away years ago. Not because, well, I'm not sure how or why. I know he'd been in
It,
a coma for quite a while.
it was complications from
Yeah,
his
yeah.
diabetes. I do know that. Yeah.
Yeah, from diabetes. And
Mhm.
so Everson created an organization to promote awareness for diabetes. He said not just for me and my family, but for Sean Springs. Everybody knows Sean played for the
Right.
Redskins,
Mhm.
Ron's son. So he's really big on that. So he was probably the most impressive. Another guy I talked to, met him. We sat next to each other coming back from San Jose Monday night. He's from Australia.
Mhm.
And it hadn't even been announced yet that the league is going to Australia next year. So the Niners and the Rams are playing in the land down under next year. So I'm sitting next to this guy. Turns out he had a hand in getting this to take place. And he'll let you know it wasn't just me. But we're talking. I said, man, I want to do a story. This is before I know, before it's officially announced. I said, well, I want to do a story on you and how the Aussies are digging the NFL. I said, yeah, we can do that. So I got with him the next day. And I used to story 2 days later, but he talked about how when we watched the bowl, it's a Monday for them. It's Monday to them.
Mhm.
Monday afternoon, 10:30, and nobody goes into work on Monday. They don't go to work on Tuesday. They celebrate more than we do. That's our game. And he was telling me that pretty much the owners are tapped out and bringing new fans to the National Football League here in America.
Mm.
250 million fans, they run out of fans, out of revenue. That's why they go abroad for new fan base. And I thought that was very interesting. And next to us were a group of guys from Ireland, and they had
Wow.
something called the Irish NFL pregame show. It was like we used to watch, or we watched during the regular season. And I got a chance to visit with that gentleman as well. So, and this been the NFL in Ireland last year for the first time, I believe. So, the NFL going abroad is huge. And they have plans to go to Africa. I used to always wonder, why go to Africa? But they're going to go to Africa. They have plans to go to Africa and other countries as well. So, or continents. And so the NFL is huge, man. I mean, the NBA is more global, the
Right.
Olympics and all of that. Now, the way the NFL is going to be global in that sense is flag football coming up in a couple of years or whatever.
Right. Right.
But they're doing a lot of stuff to promote this game outside of America, and it translates well. And I did ask him, I said, well, how do you pick your team? You don't have a team. Well, it depends on who's hot. Like he said, when I was a kid, when I was younger, San Francisco and Jerry Rice and Joe Montana were the guys. And we
Right.
saw a lot of they saw their games on television, and they became fans of Jerry Rice. He also became a fan of Green Bay Packers because I saw the Packers a lot. That's how I picked. I was a Brett Favre fan. They're Cowboys fans because they pick. Their team is hot when you're being impressed upon to watch the game, and they do well. That's the team. That's boom. This is my team. This like we do. We have other options. We go, the Packers, or in your case, well, you are the Packer guy. So you got the Packer guys. You got another fan from all the dude.
Yeah.
So be happy.
Hey, Michael, if you can hear me, I'm gonna have to take you out and bring you in. You're breaking up real bad. I'm gonna remove you, and we're gonna try to do this again. We're gonna have to try to bring Michael in, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I just heard Michael's. Yeah, his audio started going out, ladies and gentlemen. If you can hear me, Mike, try to come back out and come back in again. Because yeah, his Wi-Fi, I think was having an issue. Again, I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Again, I have my good brother Michael Coleman, who is live in Santa Clara via San Francisco, via all that. Talking Super Bowl is going down here in just a few minutes. And speaking of which, if I can get him to come back, just gonna sit tight. Hopefully, we can get him to come back and the Wi-Fi connection to be a little better. We're talking the matchup We're going to get his thoughts on these matchups between the number 1 seed coming out of the NFC, that is the Seattle Seahawks, and the number 2 seed New England Patriots coming out of the AFC. Right now, the Seahawks are a 4.5-point favorite in this game, and I think that's pretty accurate. I would say that I would go with 4.5 points with the Seahawks being a favorite. Now, let's talk about the New England Patriots because they're looking to make history. This is their 12th Super Bowl appearance. They are 6-5 in those appearances. If they win this one versus the Seahawks, that would give them 7 Super Bowls. That would put them at the top of the mountain. They would be the king. They will have the most Super Bowl trophies, the most Vince Lombardi trophies in NFL history, with 7 of them things. So we're gonna see if they can get it done. Obviously, they're gonna have a challenge with the Seahawks, because the Seahawks have won what they won 14 games. They won the division, the NFC West, which was a tough division. For the first time, I think since 2020, they won that division. That is the Seattle Seahawks. And Sam Darnold has been the key to the success of this team this season. He was dealing with an oblique injury the last couple of weeks. The last 2 weeks, he was able to get a little bit of some time off and get that to heal. So Sam Darnold is looking to continue to write his story, considering he won 14 games last year as the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. You all know the story. They decided, we're gonna go with the young fella JJ McCarthy. We're gonna let Sam Darnold walk. Sam Darnold walked right into Seattle and has helped lead this team to their first Super Bowl appearance since 2014. And again, speaking of that, this is the last time these two teams met in the Super Bowl. Was Super Bowl. It was in 2014, where the infamous play call by the Seahawks, not running beast mode inside the 5 instead of calling a pass play. Russell Wilson gets picked off by Malcolm Butler, and that is the end of that. So again, big Super Bowl matchup again. It kicks off here in about 4.5 hours, going down in Santa Clara, California. Now let's talk about the second year quarterback that's in this game. That is Drake May. He is the first quarterback in history to win 3 games in the playoffs versus top 5 defenses. He beat the Chargers in the opening round. They were ranked number 5 in the league. He beat the Texans in the divisional round. They were ranked number 1 in the league. And then he beat those Broncos in the AFC Championship game, and they were ranked number 2 in the league in defense. And let's see, we got Michael back. Let's see if hey, Mike, you looking good now. Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. We got
I came downstairs.
Yeah, we got you good now. All right, Mike, let's get to this game, man. Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots. I don't think anybody picked either one of these teams to be here. If anyone did, outside of their fans, obviously we know fans probably picked them. Anybody else that picked them, I would be like, you probably really pulling my leg. Your thoughts on this matchup going into this game in 4 hours? Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, you're right. They had among the lowest odds to be here in the destination Santa Clara. I know Patriots, and you just talked about their quarterback. Patriots get a lot of flack and criticism for the air quotes easy schedule. No, they played who's on the schedule.
Right.
They didn't play junior colleges. They played NFL teams, and there's a reason why they're unbeaten on the road. Now, can they manifest that and make it work here? I don't know, because I tell you what, I was already a fan of JSN. Then when I knew he was from Nacogdoches.
See,
I
I
just
didn't know
didn't let.
that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so and then now since I'm cognizant of that, and I watch him play, I watch some clips of him. He's my guy, and he is so cool. I mean, I saw him on media night, and his father played football at SFA.
Okay.
And yeah, so and he says, "Hey, I'm a born and bred East Texan." He
I
said, "I
did
might."
not know that his dad played at SFA. Wow.
Yes, he
Okay.
says his father played at Stephen F. Austin, and he's like East Texas football is the. I mean, he prayed. I mean, he was a great ambassador
Mm-hmm.
for East Texas football Monday night, and a lot of folks were like, "Oh, isn't that where Tyler's?" In Tyler, you did mention some guy asked me like Mahomes. I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Earl
Right.
Campbell. I said, "Yeah." Adrian
Right.
Peterson. I said, "Yeah." I said,
Right.
"Oh my God." I said,
Mhm.
and I said, so he took the DNA and took it within the rock wall. What he did.
That's exactly what he did. You're right. Right. Right.
So
So.
I think I think Seattle is the most complete team
Mhm.
because they got the special teams. I think you remember was it which game where they had the opening kickoff?
Oh yeah, that was
The Rams.
yeah. I think was it the Rams? It was Rasheed, right? That took it back to open. What?
Oh, to the
Yeah,
house to
to
the
the house. I can't remember. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if whoever the opposition was, because we both forget, because you forget them once you move on, they
Right.
were hit in the mouth and kept getting hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got hit in the mouth and kept getting hit in the mouth. And then, their defense. I want Demarcus Lawrence to get a ring, man. You
Yeah.
know, you couldn't
Yeah.
get one in Dallas. He can get one here. Um, and offensively, the resilience of Sam Darnold
Hmm.
is unbelievable. I say it's unbelievable. Um, it's just that we haven't seen it like this before.
Hmm.
Because by the time that person gets to his third team, he's out of the league.
Yeah. That's true. You're
You
right
think
about
about it.
that. When you
He's
think
out of the
about it.
league.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
he was a bust. He couldn't make it.
Hmm.
But Mike McDonald, soft spoken guy, but he said we just saw something in him. You
Hmm.
know, and if you're the Vikings, if you're the Jets,
Hmm.
I don't count the Panthers and I don't count San Francisco.
Hmm.
They
I know what you
hey,
mean. Yeah.
they're like, well, he might have something left, but your first team gives up
Yeah.
on you like that.
Yeah.
Mm, they're gonna
Yeah.
be kicking themselves.
And you know that firsthand because you were in that market and you covered the Jets
Yeah,
firsthand. So you know kind of how that organization has had a
yeah,
carousel at the quarterback position for a while now. And you're right,
yeah.
when you give up, because I think he was the number 2 pick, wasn't he? Wasn't he number?
Three.
He was 3. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he was a top
USC.
3 pick out of USC, and then they give up on you, and then you become somewhat of a journeyman. And then the Vikings basically kick you out the door. Really, when you really think about
Yep,
it, they
they
basically
did.
said, "We want the young cat. You can walk. Sorry, good. Hey, thanks for the 14 games, but we see you where the good Lord splits you."
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? And then now, look at what he did. It's one of those feel good, great stories to see that this young fella can possibly make this thing happen. And Seattle lucked up and got him one. And
Well,
then as far as go ahead.
and I think real quick, I think he's a perfect example of how teams won't handle quarterbacks going down in the future. Because
Mm,
there's a reason why you drafted the guy.
right,
You saw something. If you trust your people and you drafted him, then all of a sudden he quit being what you thought he was.
right,
Maybe see, we're so quick. Our teams are so quick to get rid of the quarterbacks or the player. Maybe it's the coach,
right.
the position coach that's not bringing it. I think a positions coach's job is to bring it out of you, what's in you.
Mm,
Whoever's going to be the position coach for Shador Sanders next year, that's what their job is going to have to be, or
right.
wherever he is get it out of him. He's got it. Get it out of him.
Hmm. And speaking getting it out of him, well, let's talk about Drake May, man. Again, I had just
Yep.
mentioned that he's the first quarterback in NFL history to beat top 5 defenses in the playoffs. But quite frankly, and I said this on yesterday, he hadn't played well in the playoffs. I mean,
No.
he really hasn't. If you really looked at those games, he's turned, he's gotten sacked a few times. He's turned the ball over a couple of times. But then, I mean, now could the young fella get ready to have his biggest performance on the biggest stage, Mike? Do you does Drake May have to carry this team for the Patriots to win? I don't
No.
think so.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But what both of those teams have got going for them is what Russell Wilson had going for him when he was with Seattle. What Trent
Mhm.
Dilfer had going for him when he was with the Ravens. A kick butt defense.
Yeah.
And it's like and even the Texans had that kind of defense. They just couldn't keep
Right.
bailing out old
CJ
boys. Like, dude,
Stroud.
we
They
can't
could.
keep bailing
Yeah.
you out.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I think the outcome of this game, I'll see how I say this. The outcome of this game will be the least reason because of the quarterback,
Mm,
unless it's a losing situation.
right, right.
See what I'm saying? I think Sam
Hmm.
Darnold had his best game 2 weeks ago of his career, but still his defense is they're bang up defense, man. And I like the secondary of the Patriots. They can stick to a receiver like nobody's business, man. I really like the way their style of play. So I've got. Oh, I guess we'll talk about who we're going to pick to win afterwards. But
Yeah, yeah,
I
we
I
yeah.
like I like the defenses are going to be the star, and
Hmm.
you know I'll do it this way: if JSN doesn't get the MVP, or if an offensive player other than the quarterback for the Patriots don't get the MVP, you got to give it to a defensive player. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, you
but
just
you
have
but
to, but it
but
won't
you
be
know
that
that
way.
that's the
No,
last resort.
no,
They never want to give it to a defensive
no.
player
But
on this
it,
team.
and then there's the old adage: defense wins games. But then
Yeah,
why is he the MVP?
right, right. And speaking of which, we got someone watching from India, Mike. It is.
Oh, look at you,
Yes,
man!
yes.
Yeah,
I
Kendra's
think
gone
that says
international.
Christy Worrell 8839. Hopefully I said that correctly. If I didn't, charge it to my head and my heart. Thank you. Watching from India. So hey,
That's cool.
that's
That's cool.
pretty
Look at you,
doggone
man.
cool, Mike. Look at you,
Look at
man. Look
you
at
know,
you.
man. Look at
Look, look
you.
at look at
They got a
us.
they,
Actually,
they're gonna
look
be
at
they're
us.
gonna be a poster of you at the India airport.
look at us. Okay, so we're gonna give our picks and who we think gonna win here in a second because I'm not gonna keep you on here, Mike. Because what time does that shuttle? What time is the shuttle leaving to get you
For
guys to the
for
stadium?
me, it's another couple hours.
Okay, well, I still want you to because I know you want to get in game mode and all that. So we're gonna go about another 10 minutes or so.
No,
Mike
we're good.
Vrabel.
We're good.
Mike Vrabel. He won coach of the year, by the way.
He deserved it.
You think so?
Yeah,
Okay. Tell me
he
tell
did
me why.
because he took this team that has not a reputation, that has a tradition, has an institution, and it's his old team. And he's the first coach to take a team that he won a Super Bowl with to the back to the Super Bowl. Um, it's first year guy. He's a no nonsense guy. He don't take no guff from anybody. I covered him, not technically, but his last year was with the Chiefs when he played.
You're
He was
right.
in
Yeah, it
Kansas.
definitely was. Yeah, you're right. I
Yes,
remember
and
that.
I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, Mike Vrabel's gonna be a coach, but you saw what he did in Tennessee. Just couldn't go over the hump, and you know, I just think he's a guy that I think I read this week. What he did was he took the players off the field and had them go to the locker room and turn the lights out, and then made them sit there for 14 minutes.
Mm,
Think
that's
about what you got
different.
to do. That
Mm,
isn't that different?
that's
I
definitely
mean,
different. Yeah.
when you come up with stuff like that, you know, um, I just like his style. I think, I like his answer when it came to Roger Kraft not getting in. He said, "Hey, he'll get in. He's not freaking out about it. He's like,
Mhm.
well, it's not like he's not going to get in. He's going to get in. I just don't know when." He said, "I've always had a good relationship with Mr. Kraft, and that's what counts for me. And he's been really good to our team." So he said all the right things. He said all the truthful things. But I like Mike Vrabel, and I talked to some of the defensive players about Vrabel. I said, "How do you like playing for?" He said, "Oh, I love looking for Mike because
Mhm.
he's one of us." See, you get those guys sold. I know people leaning the way they leaning, but they got some dogs over there on that Patriots team, man. They
Okay.
really, really do.
They got some dog, and I've had quite a few Patriots fans that jumped in my live chat on TikTok yesterday, and they let me know that yeah, we got some dogs over here, and they do. I know that, but the Patriots have been on top for so long. Again, Mike, they win this one, man. They sitting up there by themselves with
Well, I
seven
tell you
of them.
what, I tell you what, for all the pub that Sean Payton of the Broncos, we're talking Broncos now, gets, he's this, he's that. He left 3 points on the table in
Yeah,
that AFC Championship game.
yep,
Now you're looking at a 10-0 game because as the game progressed, because that snow and blizzard or whatever, it became tougher to grind it out. It became tougher to get on the board. And a 10-0 lead, they could have protected a 10-7 lead, you know.
right.
And a really good friend of mine used to be my weekend guy in Austin back in the day. And I said, "Man, I just knew the Broncos were going to be here." He says, "Man, we did too. We was like, we're at home. And he said, "Now we know New England's not concerned about cold weather." But said, "But we had a blizzard, and we, as the Broncos, could not do anything with that." And he says, "Hey, Sean Payton's paying for it right now. He's going to pay for that for the whole season until August, until they rev the machine up again." So, I think what I'm saying is, Patriots came this close to not reaching Santa Clara,
Yeah,
you know, but here they are,
yeah.
and weather will not be an issue. It's beautiful out here, man.
I'm glad you mentioned. I was going to ask you what the weather's like out there
Weather's
for
nice.
the
It's really
game.
nice, man.
Okay,
It's
okay.
nice. It's nice. So that won't even be an issue.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and give our picks, and then I want to talk about a couple of other NFL things that
All
came.
right.
Actually, one that came down today that actually we can talk about specifically you because you cover the Cowboys. My pick. I'm gonna go ahead and say I picked. I think the 4.5 point spread is pretty accurate in this game. That's what it opened up with the Seahawks being 4.5 point favorites, and I'm gonna go with that. I think it's gonna be not high scoring, but both of these defenses, especially the Seahawks, they don't give up a lot of points, even though they have in the playoffs. But they were the,
Mm-hmm.
they were the top defense in the league when it comes to points per game. They were only giving up like 17.3 points per game. So I think that's probably going to hold true. I think Seattle offense is a little bit better than New England is offensively, in my opinion. But I think both defenses are pretty equal. I would say that. But I get an edge to Sam Darnold. I just think he's going to probably be the key for this game, and I'm picking the Seahawks 23, Patriots 17. Michael, you got?
I like that score. Well, I think with Seattle, they got the run game. I got to give them the nod to that run game. That Kenneth Walker ain't no joke.
He ain't no joke. I know,
He,
right?
he he's the bad boy. And
Yeah.
of course, we talked about JSN. Um, I think special teams is going to be a factor. Now, both teams, both each missed two field goals in their conference championship games, I believe. Um, but I think it's going to hurt the Patriots more um, than it hurts Seattle,
Mhm.
because I think Seattle can make up for that deficit with the other part of their special teams. Good kick return, punt return, field position, that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Seattle, because also I think Patriots are at the bottom of the scale when it comes to scoring in the red zone, and I think the
Mhm.
Seattle Seahawks are at the top of the scale when it comes to stopping folks in the red zone. Um, I'm going to go Seattle 23-17 Seattle.
Also, we picked the same score,
Okay, I thought,
23-17.
didn't he just say that? Did he just say that? Well, I don't want
Hey,
to do that. I mean, we got to have
okay.
some difference here. Let's go. All right, 27-20.
27-20
They
Seattle.
score a touchdown
Okay.
late and thinking they can do it, pull it off, but they're not going to be able to.
Okay. Mike goes 27-20 Seattle. I go 23-17 Seattle. That will actually pretty much not keep, well, I guess the Patriots in the tie with the Pittsburgh Steelers with the most Vince Lombardi trophies in NFL history. So there you have it. Let me see, Mike. I'm going to the comments. Good evening to you, Saeed Aziz. I believe I said that correctly. And then we had a couple of people from overseas checking us out, Mike.
Look at this,
that
man.
that's the beauty of the internet. You can
Yeah,
have
it
people
is.
watch you in every part of the world. All right, Mike, this information came down today to some NFL news. I think you probably saw this coming. I want to get your thoughts on it. It's being reported that the Cowboys will franchise George Pickens for 1 year, 28 million fully guaranteed. Pickens had a coming out party, so to speak, after being traded from the Steelers. Had 90 receptions, 1,409 yards, 9 TDs with the Dallas Cowboys. Are you surprised, Mike? Are they going to get something done? Are they going to lock him into a long-term contract? Your thoughts on that?
Um, well, I think about Micah Parsons. I don't know. You know, Micah Parsons was the guy on defensive side, and things turned sour, and they got that same agent. You know, um, but I like that Pickens is going to be around. I'm not surprised he's going to be around. I think I'm kind of surprised that they tagged him. You know, um, which is not a bad deal. I mean, Kirk Cousins made a living off being tagged
Yeah,
for
he got
years.
rich. He got rich being tagged. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think this is also a sign to Pickens. I mean, they didn't have any problems with him this year. Although I remember Richard Sherman was kind of blasting him for going through the motions of whatever game they played and they
right.
lost,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
and and I
Hmm.
think once he started chirping about that, everybody jumped on that.
Right.
But I, I watched the game. I never even thought that. I watch it differently than Richard Sherman does. So I'll give him that. But I think it's a good move. And I think it's going to mean that he is more motivated coming into camp next year, next July.
Hmm.
And even CD said it best when he said it. We don't have a one, we don't have a two, we have us. And
Mm.
I like that.
Hmm.
I like that.
Hmm.
So we'll,
Yeah.
and he did pull the weight when CD was out for a little bit. He pulled the weight, you
Right.
know. And
Yeah.
he's such a physical wide receiver, man. I mean,
And
he has such
yeah,
strong hands. I mean, you're
he's
not
a
going to take
freak.
that ball
He's a
away from
freak.
him.
You know, as they
Yeah,
say, he's a freak of an athlete. I've seen some of
he
them
is.
catches. He's a freak of an athlete.
Oh
All
man,
right.
and
Yeah.
his first step after he catches that ball, you got to get out of his way, man.
Yeah.
He ain't scared to hit. So no,
Yeah.
that's a good move. We'll see how it turns out.
All right. Last thing before we get out of here, we got to talk about the 5 new inductees going into Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton,
Yeah.
Ohio. It goes down August the 8th. It was announced Thursday night, the NFL Honors Awards broadcast. We got 5 new ones. We got Larry Fitzgerald, got Drew Brees. Both of them were first balloters. We got Adam Vinatieri. We got Luke Kuechly, who I was kind of surprised that he got in, but Luke Kuechly in. And the one that has been long overdue, the one with the pretty running style with the high knee action, the first running back to do double 1,000. That is receiving and rushing in a single season in 1985. The legendary 49er Roger Craig. Mike, what do you think about this new class, the class of 2026 going into the Hall of Fame?
Well, it's about time for Roger Craig. He belonged there a long time ago. I don't know what these guys be thinking. I mean, like you talked about the high knee action. I mean, cats were making business decisions to tackle him or not tackle him when he played. I mean, he's just a
Right.
bad boy. I remember him at Nebraska when they had a flurry of backs that come through there. Jarvis Redwine and Roger Craig and I am hip. I mean, all these cats, man. But Roger Craig was the cream of the crop, and good for him. Larry Fitzgerald, no mistake about it. None whatsoever. Kuechly, yes. When he was Detroit, that who he was with?
No, Carolina. 8 years. He
Carolina.
only played 8 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he probably got in because he was, you
Yeah.
know, with that franchise that was up and coming when he got there. But
And he
you
won
know,
defensive rookie. He won defensive player of the year his second year as well.
okay,
He's one of the top linebackers, during his 8-year career. But
yeah,
concussions caused him to have to retire. So,
yeah.
you know,
Vinatieri, it's hard to judge on kickers, man. It
it
really
really
is.
is. Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
I
Because
mean, again, good
he's
for
only the
him.
third one to get in. Did you know that?
Okay, because I know, like, I don't think Jan Stenerud is in from Kansas City. I
No,
don't
he's
think.
in. He's on.
Is he
He's
in?
in.
Okay,
Him
okay.
and Gordon Anderson. Those the only 3 kickers that's in the Hall of
Okay.
Fame. Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's hard to get kickers. It's hard to know about kickers. So good for him. I think Drew Brees deserves to be in there. I think partly because of how he handled the city after her Katrina.
Hmm.
I think he was the leader resurrecting the city back on its feet through the football season with the Saints and whatnot.
Hmm.
I didn't have a problem with him getting in on the first ballot. I have a problem with Darren Woodson not getting in.
You
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 know.
you you just you just transitioned to where I was going. Jason
Okay.
Witten, Jason Witten didn't get in, but he will. It was just his first. He was a finalist for the first time. I'm not worried about Witten. He's going to get in
Mhm.
because of the records he holds. As far as he's like the second,
Right.
categorically speaking, tight end in the history of the league. But Darren Woodson, I got a problem with him not being in too. But Mike, go ahead.
He I don't know what it.
You know
Well,
what to say. I know. I know.
Some have said because there's either a bias against the Cowboys or there are already enough Cowboys in at this time. I don't care about that. If that's the case, that just says and speaks highly of the Cowboys' ability to pick talent when they were who they were.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
Steelers get in with no problem.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
None
And I and
whatsoever.
I and I,
Yeah.
and, I, and which is good. but you got to afford the Cowboys the same perspective if you're going to do it with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I think every Pittsburgh Steeler that's been in the Super Bowl and that's been noteworthy is in the Hall,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I think Darren Woodson was very noteworthy. Obviously, we all know that. It is what it is, and we'll just see if it happens and when it happens.
And I just looked up. They say defensive tackle and safety is the two positions that have the fewest Hall of Famers. Safety
Really?
and defensive tackles. I just looked it up because I wanted to see
Wow.
how many safeties are in. But I damn sure, and no shade. Well, hell yeah, it is. I am. Woodson should have been in long before John Lynch. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not disrespecting John Lynch because
No,
he was that
no,
dude too.
no.
But I'm sorry. Woodson should have been in. Woody should have been in long before John Lynch. So there you go.
No,
All
you're
right.
right. I think John Lynch he could have waited.
Right. Yeah. All right, Mike. There's one last thing I want to read to you because how many Super Bowls have you been to, Mike?
This is
In
my
your career?
13th. My
This is your
13th.
13th. Check this
But
out.
I've gone to 8 in a row. It's
Wow.
8 in a row since I've been in Tyler.
Check this out. I ran across this article on Yahoo Sports. This is Super Bowl 60. There are 4 people that have been to every doggone Super Bowl. 4 people have attended all 6. Well, will be 60 because they're going to attend this one. His name is Tom Henschel. He's 84. Gregory Eaton. He's 86. Don Chrisman is 89. And it's a photographer by the name of John Beaver, who's 74, who shot every Super Bowl.
Wow.
That's crazy.
74, huh? So he's 14 years old?
That's what you're right.
Wow.
Right.
But because it wasn't that big.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, when you think about it.
No, it is. Now
yeah.
I think the first 3 guys you mentioned, I think I saw an article on them. Because I've read that they become like an annual article because of the number that they go to. And I think I saw a headline that said this could possibly be their last one. Let me throw it out there like that. They go like, oh, dang,
I know, right? What do you mean?
We going somewhere?
Y'all talk like we got one foot in the grave and another one on a banana peel. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I didn't like that headline, but good for them, man. I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. That's very, very cool, and that just shows you, compared to baseball. I'm not sure how old the NBA championships are, but for football, I mean, but for my lifetime, the Super Bowl was created in my lifetime.
Yeah.
You know,
now the first Super Bowl was 67. Or is this?
It was 60,
66.
It used to be called the NFL Championship,
Right.
And then they grandfathered in what was the NFL Championship. They turned that into a Super Bowl, but technically.
Okay.
Yeah, technically, from my understanding, first 3 or 4 of these championship games, they were called NFL Championship. And then Lamar Hunt, owner of the Chiefs, came up with the term Super Bowl.
Right.
And it wasn't supposed to stick around long. They thought it was corny, but it lasted. And so they're not going. But somebody will change it one of these days.
Because
surprise the guy in DC.
Right.
Surprise the guy in DC ain't trying to rename it.
Hey man, we ain't trying to talk about that cat. I ain't talking about.
I know, man. I know. You're right.
But wasn't the Chiefs and the Packers, didn't they meet in the official first Super Bowl? Or
They met the first one.
Okay.
In fact, they played in the first 3 it was Chiefs and Packers, and I think Packers and Raiders, I believe.
Yeah,
I think
you're right. Yeah.
And then in '69, and so when the Jets wanted to do for the '68 season, it was the Jets in '69, and for the Chiefs when they won their first one, it was a '69. It was '69 season for 70.
70. Okay. Yeah, but I just was trying to remember when the Super Bowl one, I think, was officially the Packers and the Chiefs. I want to say in 67.
Exactly. It was exactly.
All right, Mike, man. But as always, man, I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule, hooking up with
you, man.
And giving me some
coverage.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the love.
This is the easiest work I've done all week. Believe me.
I believe. I know behind the scenes what you
I know you. Yeah,
so
you know.
I know. So I know it ain't all work. Man. It's a little bit of work. It ain't all play. It's a little bit of work.
That's right.
Hitting deadlines.
That's
right. All right, Mike. Well, enjoy the Super Bowl, man. You be safe when you head back.
Thank you, man.
When you heading back?
I'm gonna spend since I'm off technically on Monday and Tuesday. I'm gonna spend an extra day and
Okay.
see a buddy of mine and fly back in late Tuesday night, and
Okay. Okay.
we'll share a beverage here real soon, man.
Got to. Whenever you get back, hopefully, sometime I've been fighting a cold and I'm
Okay,
trying to get over that. But yeah, sometime next week we'll do that. All right.
okay, buddy.
All
All
right.
right.
Again, that was my good brother Michael Coleman, KLTV Sports Director at the ABC affiliate in Tyler, Texas. If you want to know where Tyler is located, it is basically an hour and a half east of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and an hour west of Shreveport, Louisiana, and about 3.5 hours north of Houston, Texas. So again, that was some of his Super Bowl coverage. He was live out there, and look who showed up at the very end. I knew you wasn't coming on, Jack. You had me sending you the link. Yeah, I'm putting you on blast, Stephen A. Jackson. 30-17, Seattle Seahawks win. You were supposed to pop in live with us. Then he gonna pop in at the very end. Man, I'm about to get out of here. But anyway, I want to thank everybody that watched this. If you didn't watch it from the beginning, rewind, check us out again. Michael was giving us his own insight with him being out there live and kind of even giving us the whole thing about Santa Clara and San Jose and all that. The difference in San Francisco and all that, which is something that I did not know about. So again, Super Bowl 60 kicks off in roughly 3.5 hours. Again, I picked the Seahawks to get this thing 23-17. Michael picked the Seahawks as well, 27-20. My good brother Stephen A. Jackson picked the Seahawks 30-17. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channels. Those channels are Kendrick Sports also, as well as TFG Sports Media. Make sure you like and follow them both on Facebook. If you are on that social media platform, you can also follow me on Instagram at KDrick1969. And you can also follow me on TikTok at Kendrick Henderson 51, where it goes down over there on TikTok. So again, about to get ready to go check this game out at a buddy's Super Bowl watch party. So again, I'm Kendrick the Sports Guy, and I will give my reaction probably tomorrow, sometime during the week. I will give my reaction to whomever wins this Super Bowl. And also, I know the big talk is probably going to be about the halftime performance of Bad Bunny. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm going to probably watch some clips of it just to see what happens. So there you have it. So again, I'm Kendrick the Sports Guy. You guys enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. We will see you on the other side and on the next report and on the next live stream. I am out. Deuces.